Welcome to the Realm. I'm Scotty Chummer from Sports Realm, here with my normal co-host, Max Zaku and Severin Mole. Today we have a special guest, Sam Stewart.
Thank you. Honored to join the program.
We're talking about multiple topics around the sports world today. Let's start with Max.
Oh, man. So, as of the time that we were recording this, we just watched the end of the Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama. Alabama had a massive choke game. They missed the field goal. They were down 3 with around a minute left. Choked the field goal. Auburn came onto the field, had them on to 4th down, then got the massive illegal substitution penalty.
Yeah, there were too many men on the field, they said.
Cost them the 4th down punt.
Yeah, they would have had a minute and
the
40.
Game,
That
2
cost them
massive
the game.
chokes. Something that you very rarely see coming from Nick Saban in Alabama. But, against Auburn, anything can happen.
Yeah,
Tua is out.
definitely a well-organized team. Crazy to see an illegal substitution or too many men on the field. It's probably one of the sub-coaches, like a defensive line coach, because one of the guards was not supposed to be in.
They also had a punt returner back. There's a punt man on the field, so they were confused about what was going to take place. And was Bo Nix going to punt the ball, or were they going to just try for the false start?
Yeah, it's
And then what we also saw was Tua Tagovailoa. Obviously, we know how talented he is. Durability has become a question lately because of what's happening, and that might hurt his draft stock this year. But we saw what Mac Jones did through 2 terrible pick sixes that cost him the game. One down in the red zone, another one for 26 yards. They had a 100-yard and a 26-yard pick six. That's just inexcusable, though, too, in a big rivalry game like that limited them from playoff contention.
So, that's enough about college basketball. Let's move on to college football, my bad. Let's move on to the professional field in the NFL.
The story right now is Lamar Jackson mania. That man is going absolutely insane. What are y'all's thoughts about him in this season so far?
I think Lamar Jackson's story in general just serves as a testament that you can't let the doubters hold you down.
He definitely did.
You just got to work harder. I mean, you got to be your biggest believer in life, and I think Lamar Jackson's just showing us that. I mean, everyone said he should be a wide receiver coming out of college.
Bill Point didn't know what he was talking about.
I mean, I think that what he's doing right now just shows us that you can't let anybody hold you down in life, and that what can happen when a team builds a system around a quarterback and really works with him. Because we've seen quarterbacks in the past, like Michael Vick and RG3, be talented runners, but we haven't seen a system that's quite built around a quarterback like the Ravens have built their system top to bottom around Lamar Jackson.
Well, they definitely have. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Everybody's been on the kind of Lamar Jackson hype train since the sophomore year, me included. But when he won the Heisman, youngest Heisman in history, and when Lamar Jackson was going into the draft, I was hoping the Jets got him so bad. But I mean, as a Lamar fan, I guess it's kind of nice that he didn't go to the New York Jets, because we definitely wouldn't know how to build a system around him like John Harbaugh does. And just the amount their running attack and the threats, and then the receivers they build around him with the schemes. Lamar Jackson's learning how to throw outside the numbers and throw deep bombs, and it just got defenses going crazy. And what John Harbaugh said with Lamar Jackson in that conversation, talking about how people are going to be wearing your number because of what you're going to be and what we're going to accomplish. That's just great leadership on both parts. And Lamar Jackson's put his full trust in John Harbaugh, and they're going to be a dynasty for years to come as Lamar Jackson progresses. And he's already the shiftiest player in football, and he's a quarterback. That's just mind-boggling to think about.
Severin, how far do you think they'll go this year?
I think the Ravens go to the Super Bowl and lose.
I could see that.
San Francisco?
Yeah.
You think they're going to win Sunday?
I think the Ravens will beat the Niners. They're really hot right now.
I think so, too.
All right. Do you think Lamar Jackson has solidified his position in the MVP race this season?
Yeah, I think he's winning
no
MVP
doubt.
this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think Lamar Jackson is a top 5 quarterback in this league already. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, his arm talent is just ridiculous. I would still have to give Patrick Mahomes a nod as of right now for the best quarterback in the world.
All right, well, we're going to have some NFL playoff predictions coming soon, so we'll get you ready for those. Moving on to the NBA. Harden is going crazy. Max, tell me about that.
Right now, it's halfway through the 4th quarter of the Rockets-Hawks game. James Harden only played the first 3 quarters, has a mind-blowing 60 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, shooting 66% from the field. He's taken 23 free throws, which is A hefty amount of free throws, but he's also shooting 8 for 14. The
There's no also about it. You should applaud him for getting that many free throws and how efficient he is.
Rockets have 137 points halfway through the third quarter. Absolutely.
Wait, Max, how many points did James Harden have?
James Harden has 60 points in the third quarter.
Wait a second.
Does not look like
that's Kobe.
Yeah.
That's what Kobe did. That's exactly what Kobe did.
60 points in 3 quarters. He's not going to play the fourth.
That's crazy.
What's Trae Young doing?
Trae Young has 34 points, 7 assists.
What's he shooting?
Fresh off a 49-point game, too.
What's he shooting?
9 for 14, 64%.
Oh, my gosh.
Trae Young going crazy. He's the second best player from his draft class behind, Luka Mania as well. Luka Doncic.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy season.
I mean, when people, his rookie year, he was going crazy. People said GOAT potential. I thought they out of their mind. But now, like, GOAT potential, that's not.
Oh, for sure.
That's not out of the question.
Yeah, that's
not
not
a question.
Luka
I'm not saying
amazing.
it's going to happen or anything like that. I mean, he doesn't have quite the physical tools of a Will Chamberlain or a LeBron James, but still.
We were talking about him last podcast, and we don't want to be repetitive, but he's just amazing. Every night.
A quarter of the way through the season, he's nearly averaging a 30-point triple-double, which is just absolutely insane for a guy, remind you, is 20 years old.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
20 years old.
Not. Also, keep in mind, these are not empty stats. The Mavericks are the 4th seed in the West with a 12-6 record against a lot of they've played competition. This is just ridiculous, and they're blowing teams out of the water.
And Luka Doncic at 22 years old, he showed at 19 as well. That man has the clutch gene. That he was born with it. And I mean, come playoff time, that man is going to be a problem because he can beat you from 30 feet out, and then he can create and play make for other players, and he's a smart defender. And I mean, he got sneaky athleticism too. When he's running to the paint, he can get shifty around the rim, dunk on you, or lay it up with a reverse.
All right, well, let's talk about the two number ones, the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks.
Whew. Giannis. That man.
He's unbelievable.
Lost in Eastern Conference Finals last year, showing you he wasn't the MVP last season for no reason.
Yeah, I think Giannis wins MVP again this year.
You know what's kind of disappointing? The Hornets are playing them right now, and last time I checked, we were down by like 17.
Yeah, you lost by like 40. 41.
Well, I mean, we're doing better this season than most people thought, and I think that we will make the playoffs.
You think the Hornets are a playoff contender?
I do.
They'll be a contender. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs yet.
Yeah, don't say a playoff contender. They contender to make the playoffs.
Yeah, contender to make the playoffs. My bad.
They're okay. It made me happy to say that they're a playoff
fighting
contender.
fighting for the 8th seed. Fighting for the 8th
Mm-hmm.
seed.
They're in that tough position right now. They're not bad enough to get that really, really good draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
In
And you know what?
right
We were supposed to.
Quite good enough to.
We were
the
supposed
cap
to.
situation is going to get better.
We were supposed to, but the most improved player, Devontae Graham, said no.
He's not locked, but he is going to be a top 3 finalist.
Oh, yeah.
for most improved player.
Yeah, he's balling out. Terry Rozier, I mean, he's kind of getting outshined by Devontae Graham, but he's still doing great in his own right, having a good season.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Showing that he needs to be a starting point guard in this league. I like what they did, putting them both in the lineup.
Oh, it's perfect. It's James Borrego. He's got everything going right down there. Everything.
Yeah, PJ Washington thriving well. They might have a nice little trio core coming down the road.
Yeah, Miles Bridges too. All right, let's move on to the Los Angeles Lakers. Very dominant.
Ooh, as everyone predicted.
It was known.
Who do y'all have winning the championship? Scotty.
Jeez. As a fan of Montrezl Harrell, I want to see the Clippers in the finals. I want to see them there.
You have them winning. I'm sure they tell.
Right. I mean, right now I'm gonna say the Clippers are gonna win it.
Max.
Do you understand how biased I am?
He's a Clippers fan.
Yeah, as an extremely.
I'm a Celtics fan. I mean.
Yeah, but I'm like so.
I hate the Lakers.
Exactly, which is why I'm saying that the Clippers are.
I have the Lakers winning the championship this year.
I just think that Western Conference. That Western Conference.
It's all time.
It's not fair.
It's all time and great.
I mean, you know, Kawhi.
Yeah,
he goes crazy.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like that Western Conference Finals, like LeBron and Kawhi, that's just gonna be a battle.
But I mean, I think AD doing better than PG in the postseason. Not star power. I mean, Kawhi go crazy in the postseason, but LeBron go crazier. LeBron goes crazier.
But Kawhi can stop him. Kawhi has stopped him in the finals.
Stopped
do it again.
Stopped is slowed down.
But now we got playmaker Bron 11 assists a game. We never seen that before.
I know.
That was
It's
wild.
interesting. We're gonna see.
It's
what
going to be a
happens.
great conference finals matchup.
Oh yeah.
And then I think they'll probably meet the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals. Giannis making his
Yeah,
first finals
I
appearance.
don't see the Bucks
But-
missing the finals.
Giannis, he can kind of like school. He can go head to head.
Severn, you see
Outmatch Anthony Davis, but then you add in LeBron James in there against Chris Middleton. It's not
Yeah,
even close.
yeah.
Severn, do you see the Boston Celtics giving the Bucks a run?
No, I don't. The rim
No.
protection. I don't know who's stopping Giannis in the paint. It's not
Yeah.
in this canner. So
Yeah.
unless we trade for rim protector, I don't see how we can guard that.
What about number 77? What's his name?
You talking about Daniel Tice?
Yeah.
Tice.
No, not Daniel Tice, the other guy, but
Vincent Poirier?
yeah.
No, you can't guard Giannis. What?
I'm just
Man,
playing around.
6'11" freak.
I'm just playing around. I mean, Daniel Tice can get in there, shake things up a little
Taco
bit.
Fall some reps.
Yeah, give Taco some reps, man.
And Giannis would be running circles around.
Moving on to the MLB, we have our Sports Realm MLB analyst Sam Stewart in the house.
Well, thanks, guys. It's great to be here. As you know, we saw a great MLB postseason, one of the best in memory. Some real memorable games going down the stretch there. The Washington Nationals, they really showed what a never say die attitude can do for a team, and that was great to see. A wild card team going all the way, taking down Clayton Kershaw and
Shut up.
as well as Max is our resident Clippers fan,
Dodgers fan too.
as well as Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole and a bunch of great talented arms that they saw in the postseason. So that was great to see. Great baseball moment, great underdog moment, sports moment in general. And we also have some breaking news that's been developing over the past few days with the Houston Astros. We have learned that they have been caught up in a cheating scandal.
And lost.
And they lost as well, even though at home there might have been some cheating going on. So what we have seen going on here is some former players talking about the Astros stealing signs. And an interesting video I saw the other day that I saw on John Boy Media. He does baseball commentary. So
Shout out to John Boy.
John Boy, he's a really good YouTube commentator on baseball. He actually showed some videos where you could hear after a changeup sign got put down, a trash can would be banged twice in the dugout. You could hear a bang, bang sound. So this is really interesting. In that particular video that John Boy was talking about, he showed where the pitcher actually made a change, and then he finally got a strikeout once he made a change to the signs.
Wow.
So an interesting video if you guys want to find it out there on the internet. If you guys want to comment under one of our social media platforms, is there was a clip of the World Series where an Astros player, I believe it was Carlos Correa, is running through the Astros dugout back up into the clubhouse, and we can see a table with a laptop and a trash can sitting right beside it.
Whoa.
So that's very interesting.
Wow.
Is that the evidence that gets the Astros right-handed? I mean, the Yankees during the ALCS said they heard whistling coming from the dugout, but
Yeah.
AJ Hinch basically said that this was ridiculous. This is not what was happening. But now we have former players who used to play on the Astros coming forward, and it's a very
crazy.
interesting situation. We've seen some other things like this, of course, with the Patriots videotaping scandal of practice that happened.
Well, I mean, Sam, what kind of penalties can the MLB dish out if
I'm
they're
not
caught?
really sure. I feel like some more investigating might need to be done to find out who's really responsible. Was this an order coming down from the top? Was it coming from AJ Hinch himself?
Yeah, I guess
we don't know. We don't
because
know.
I guess that's how you determine who gets the penalties.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the Astros numbers go up there, hitting numbers home versus away. Now, if that has anything to do with it, I don't know. One could jump to that logical conclusion that because they were stealing signs at home, that's why they had a better batting average.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting to see. We've seen people like Barry Bonds and Pete Rose being held out of the Hall of Fame for certain reasons, but if these players are the ones that are really involved in this cheating scandal, like I hope they're not, because I'm a really big fan of the players in the Astros. But how does that impact their Hall of Fame?
Yeah, in their
status?
career. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just a very interesting thing that may impact their legacy.
Well,
So,
Sam, do you think we'll ever see a team win 4 road games again?
I don't know. That was crazy. I mean, the Nationals' spectacular run they had there. Steven Strasburg, we know they held him out for his first few years. Really strict pitch limit, and I think it showed that it paid off with his World Series MVP performance. So, I mean, and great effort from Max Scherzer as well. He didn't have his best stuff throughout the World Series.
But it was enough.
But he competed.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude just competes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a great example to look up to for if you want to compete. I mean, the Nationals they just put together. I think Juan Soto is a really interesting player to watch. I mean, you got to watch when that guy comes up to bat with his Soto shuffle.
Yeah, and you just enjoy it. Yeah,
I mean,
he puts on a show.
And his shuffles in the batting box and his twitches. I mean, it's amazing to see a player who's that young. I believe he's 21. He turned 21 during the playoffs because he couldn't drink for the first few rounds. But, I mean, just to see a young player with that much confidence, it's really special. And it's a World Series that I'll always remember. So, all right. Thank you, Scotty, for having me on.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right. So, before we end this video, I just want to say I just came across a post of the MVP race, the official MVP race this season.
Oh, back to the NBA.
All right. So, yeah. So, Giannis Antetokounmpo is in first place, which is not a surprise. LeBron James in second, also not a surprise. What comes to me as a surprise,
should be in there.
Kemba Walker is in third place for the MVP race.
Wow.
I find that's
scoring NBA TV. Obviously, someone in the graphics didn't do their research. They wanted. Kemba Walker is averaging.
Hey, shout out to Kemba, man.
He's averaging 21.9 points a game, 4.7 assists on 40.6% shooting and 39% from three. Granted, Kemba Walker, he's trying to find his groove with the Celtics. He had a big game against the Nets, but
also,
he's nowhere in that discussion.
Yeah, those are great stats on a great team. But
wait, is that in order?
You're putting that above
James
Luka
Harden.
Doncic, who's averaging
Harden better than Doncic.
Harden and Doncic. Like, these are like two of the best scorers in the league, best scorer playmakers in the league, who are leading the fourth and fifth seeds in the Western Conference over underneath Kemba Walker. I just don't see why that. I don't see why that.
Someone made a mistake, obviously.
Yeah, somebody had to have made a mistake in this.
But I mean, in my eyes, James Harden is definitively above Luka Doncic for MVP race this season. Granted, Luka Doncic is blown out of his mind at 20 years old, but James Harden 38 a game on a 12 or 13 and 16. It's just absurd. We haven't seen someone average 38 a game since Wilt Chamberlain.
All right, well, thank you guys for listening. This was a Sportron podcast on YouTube. You can listen on SoundCloud also. Follow us on Instagram at sportsdrum.us, our Twitter, sportsdrumus, and check out our website, sportsdrum.us.
Sportsdrum?
Out.